Gabriel, are you asking me if Jesus is a god or a Jew? Or a Jew thing? You mean a Jew thing? A thing that Jew people created? Look, back in the day, those people there in that area, you know, if you go by history, Rome conquered those places, and also they conquered Greece and the area around, and the emperors of Rome and whatever, and people wanted to, you know, they felt occupied by a strange force, which was Rome, and especially Jews had this tradition back then. They were talking about amongst them, their people, they wanted to be liberated by the Romans, and they were making up because they had this thing with this religious mindset of having some savior coming to save them from bad guys and whatnot. Something like the Superman stories, fairy tales that we see nowadays, things like Spider-Man, you know. Saviors that will save people, and they had this mindset of eschatology, as they call it also, which is this one. It includes also waiting for a savior to come to save you. And also eschatology means that at some point in the future all will be destroyed, and then a crisis will come from a divine entity, whatever, a god or whatever, and Judgment Day, Terminator. So those people who had that mindset that they had back in the day, there were not, it wasn't only one Jesus, which means it wasn't only one guy pretending to be the Messiah and making, performing miracles in front of people. If you go and check out history, read a little bit of history, you will see that Jews had some people there every now and then that they pretend to be the Messiah, and they had also some, how do you call the magicians nowadays that perform tricks? And because our eyes cannot really see how that they make the tricks, because they make them very fast and very smart, and the eyesight of humans is not perfect, of course. Anyways, they were performing tricks like this, and people didn't know better back then, and they thought that those tricks were miracles. And they had messiahs, they had that messiah at that period of time. Some decades later they had another messiah, then another messiah. When you create so many messiahs, maybe one day one of those messiahs will be successful, and people will believe on that one. So actually Jesus, if you go to go by truth and reality and leave behind superstition and prejudice and all these things, you will have to admit that it is proven by history that it is just a made-up story by Jews of that time. And it is not even made by Jews of that time for the whole population of the planet. It was a story that was created specifically for saving Jews from Romans. And when they say in the Apocalypse about the Antichrist, Antichrist is not, it is, actually it goes back, the Emperor, how did they call him, Neron, that one. He was the Antichrist. Jews are still waiting for the Messiah, they denied all the others. Yeah, so if you got an answer, a simple answer to your question, is Jesus God or is he a Jew thing, as you said? It is obviously obvious that people in general, not only Jews, but in general, for thousands of years, in different civilizations, we have had people, real life people, like you and I, living in this life, doing some stuff, maybe becoming leaders of an organization or a country. I wouldn't go to say it now, president of America, because especially politicians are not leaders. They are all scumbags, all of them. But anyways, let's say leaders of a nation, of a country, And in some cases, maybe because people felt that those leaders had been very, very beneficial to their people. I will give you an example. Alexander the Great. Especially in older times, people were making gods out of an individual. Also, Alexander the Great was considered to be the son of Zeus, which actually he was, but not the way you think. This is the funny thing is that when he visited, as he started going for his campaign, when he visited the Egyptians told him that he was, they greeted him as if he was the son of Zeus. So they knew something about that. It doesn't matter that Jesus was a real person or he was not a real person. What matters is that people will make, or people have been creating gods out of people, of individuals for many thousands of years. So, is Jesus a god or not? I would say that Jesus is God for those who believe that Jesus is God. But for those who actually want to go with truth, science, and evidence based on archaeology and science in general and reality, it has been proven multiple times that Jesus Christ is as real as he is a god, but he is as real as Odin, Thor, Zeus, myself. That's proven reality. It is not about faith, it is about reality. Now, there are people that still believe in all their religions. We still have people in India believing in their own gods. You know, we have options. The option is, do you want to believe in something that you have been told, something that you have been taught by some other people like your parents, your school, your teachers, the society you live in, or do you want to actually discover the actual truth and live this life that has been given to you by accident, by luck, based on reality, and to actually know the truth of this life before you die? It is up to you to decide. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Plato in Politias says the perfect man would be crucified. Gabriel, come on. There is no such thing as prophecies on old documents of ancient Greeks or even ancient Jews about Jesus. Go, for example, do a research yourself. Go take a look what people say, Christians, about prophecies of Old Testament. Go see which prophecies they say that exist in Old Testament about Jesus. See exactly what they say there and go back to the Old Testament and take a look at those specific pieces of text that they take from the Old Testament and they present it as if it was talking about Jesus. Then do your research and read more of the Old Testament, and you will find out yourself that what they do is they take some pieces of text, they remove it out of context, and they say this one says about Jesus, it is a prophecy, and here we have it. You will find out yourself that they do not even respect the Old Testament. The Old Testament says things about people that some people, as I was talking before about messiahs and eschatologies and all of this mindset that Jews have had for thousands of years now, that is a very old thing. It didn't start happening around the time of Jesus. It was much older. And you can see that in the Old Testament you still had people there that were coming. There were prophecies for some leaders of Jews and whatnot that would conquer other people's areas in Egypt, and things like this that have nothing to do with Jesus. And those people, they take those texts of the Old Testament out of context and they make it look like it is talking about Jesus. But that one is talking, those pieces anyways, they are talking about other people that hypothetically based on the mythology of Jews, because Old Testament is also mythology. It is not history. It is exactly 100% identical to mythologies of other nations like Egypt, Greece, Norse mythology, whatever you want. And you will find out by yourself the lies that they say. And they do the same, especially with Greece. They twist from ancient philosophers, Greek philosophers, some things they try to present that ancient Greeks were talking where they were expecting a Jesus to come to save them. Ancient Greeks didn't have the mindset of saviors. They had the mindset of do something yourself to fix stuff instead of waiting for someone else to come for you to fix the stuff for you. This is why you see, for example, in the mythology, the biggest example, maybe, one of the best examples, Hercules. What did Hercules, the son of Zeus, did? He committed a crime. He killed his wife and children because he was under a spell or something like that. He didn't go to do it, but after he did that thing, he had to redeem himself, to cleanse himself from the crimes. And he went under the commands of Eurystheus, maybe you would call it in English. And then Eurystheus sent him to do this, to perform the labors. And we have the 12 labors. So, after the labors, Heracles was cleansed by his crime and everything was good. But actually, to fix the problems that he caused himself, he had to become a hero, he had to do great stuff, he had to work himself. He didn't expect from any god or divinity to come down and tell him, follow me and you will go to paradise. And your crimes are erased. Exactly what people do nowadays, politicians, they say, okay, let's not go there with the parliament because now I will start punching my screen. Okay, so no, ancient philosophers and ancient people, Greek philosophers, they didn't have the mindset of Messiah. And when you hear people saying stupid things like this, that ancient Greek philosophers believed that they were waiting for a Messiah, those people, you have to actually read some ancient history and things like this to understand what ancient Greeks were. Yeah, Gabriel, I didn't miss what you said. I just explained the mindsets of ancient Greeks and in general how Christians are twisting and altering even Old Testament to try to prove that Jesus was someone that even the ancient Jews were expecting to come. When that is proven to be 100% a lie, it is not true. So what Christians do actually is they disrespect ancient Jews and also the Old Testament, which has nothing to do with Jesus. They disrespect ancient Greek philosophers and maybe even yeah. Oh, let's stop there. We don't need anything else. I'm not talking about Christian people that just believe. I'm talking about those who are behind the leaders of Christianity, those who actually know that all these things are big fucking lies, and they still support these things because this way, by using this religion, for example, they can control a huge amount of population on the planet. I mean, most people out there, simple people that just happen to be taught with specific religions or ideologies, okay, that those people, all of us, myself included of course, we have been unlucky. It is all, sometimes I say that people, even Christians, because they say that there is only one God and they believe in one God, they believe in the true God, the only true God, and these stupid things. What they truly believe in, again, I'm talking about people, not about those who actually know, but they are criminals, scammers. What people actually believe in, when they say I believe in one God, what you actually believe in is you believe in a goddess, not a god, and the goddess is called luck. You believe in the goddess luck or the goddess fortune. But in this case, I would call it goddess misfortune, not really fortune. Or I would call it the goddess bad luck, not really luck, because you have to be very unlucky or to have very bad luck to end up coming in this world without having chosen yourself, because it is impossible to be born in this world anyways. You have to be very unlucky not to be born in this world, but to be born in this world in a place and in a time where the world is fucked up, and the world has been fucked up for thousands of years now. And anyways, there is a different version of fucked up. For example, you are very unlucky because you had been born under in a place and in a time where people believe in that religion, let's say Christianity, or people believe in another religion, let's say whatever your religion. I'm not talking about Christianity only, all religions. Or some people are unlucky that they were born under maybe in a society and with parents that are atheists, or they believe in alien gods or alien whatever, and I don't know. I'm talking about alien as gods, not alien life, because alien life is 1000% sure that it exists. For example, I think Mormons is one such religion that believes that aliens created us, but aliens are the true gods of humans, but we are not worthy and we have to go through struggles to cleanse ourselves and become worthy of the aliens. Something I think I haven't really looked into that religion of Mormons, but from things I have heard here and there, I think something like that is what they say. Maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. But anyways, the point is that some people have been unlucky and they have been born under Christian circumstances, in a Christian country. Others have been born under a Muslim country, Muslim circumstances. Others somewhere else. This is why, in the end of the day, when people, no matter where on the planet, and no matter what they believe in, when they believe what they have been taught, what they actually believe in is the goddess misfortune. If you believe in Jesus, for example, that he is the only true God, you actually believe in the goddess misfortune or the goddess bad luck, because you had the bad luck to be born under those circumstances. Had you been born under the other circumstances, then you would have the bad luck to be born under, for example, the Muslim circumstances, or the ancient Egyptian, or the ancient Greece, or the ancient, I don't know, whatever you're going to say, Native American religions, or Chinese, or Japanese, whatever you want. Ta-da-da. Jesus is something like Big Brother from Orwell's book. I haven't read Orwell's book. What is the Big Brother from Orwell's book supposed to be? Gabriel, before Christ and after Christ, these things have, if I remember right, those are because of the Roman Empire that established Christianity as the only legal official religion, and they started killing, for example, in my city, Thessaloniki, they killed 10,000 Greeks that didn't go to become Christians, and they slaughtered them. As far as I recall, that happened under the rule of Theodosius, Roman Emperor, if I remember right.